Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Nikan Business Opportunity webcast. Joining me tonight from the Seattle area is Royal Diamond Pat Terry. Good evening, Pat. How are you?
Hi, Dennis. Great. How are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight. Just by way of introduction, Pat and her husband Mac have been two-time Consultants of the Year. They're Royal Diamonds with a worldwide global business. Pat has an amazing story regarding how first she came to discover Nikan and then the power of the products. But I think even more, and that was certainly life-changing and life-altering. But then the financial rewards that came along with that, and what that has allowed you and your husband to do. So, folks, tonight we're going to talk about discover the freedom you desire and create a more meaningful life. And as we look at this, and as we move forward and understand it, there's some elements of looking at an opportunity. We introduced this as the Nikan Business Opportunity webcast, and if you were to decide, if you're new on this call tonight and you were to decide, gosh, I think I'd like to start my own business, a consultant might take you through and ask you some questions. What industry are you going to be participating in? What is the timing for that industry? Is it in demand or is it in decline? What kind of company would you be aligning with? What kind of products are you bringing to the marketplace? Is there a need for them? Is there any kind of a business plan or marketing plan associated with what you're doing? What kind of system is there? But the biggest piece of the puzzle is you, what you might be looking for and what you might be willing to do in order to create a new business for yourself. And so, Pat, as you look at this little pie chart here, evaluating a business, what did that mean to you the first time you saw it?
Well, it's interesting. I think a lot of people don't know my story, but my background is I'm a registered nurse, but I was looking for 15 years for a business. So this is very pertinent to what when I saw Nikan, and I'll go into that later. But that's why I ended up not launching a business for 15 years because there seemed to be a transition going on. Industries are changing, and I wasn't sure what was going to be around. And certain things I was interested in looked like they'd be obsolete in the next few years. And so I wasn't willing to take that risk. And when I was looking for a company to align with, again, with the changing industry, I needed to find something that was strong, and I was having trouble doing that. And then products, that obviously it has to fuel your heart, it has to impact, it has to feel, and that, I guess that's the part of you as well. And so I was looking not only for products that were current, but were futuristic, that were going to be around and be cutting edge. And then business plans. Since I have no business background in running a business, I've got a financial background. Done real estate and run parts of a hospital. But I needed something that made sense, it would work, and it wouldn't bog me down. So evaluating that. Now, support system, it's interesting because I've watched so many businesses go under because there isn't that support system. Even things like franchising and all where people think the support's there. So, and like I said, for the part, it had to fit with me too. It had to be integral and impact. So I think that's very important when people look at this. They need to find out the pieces of a business in general. And thank goodness I bumped into Nikan because for 15 years I couldn't find the one that filled all these pieces for me.
Awesome. Well, folks, those of you that are listening or watching us tonight, we're going to go through each one of these pieces of the puzzle, each one of these pieces of the puzzle, and we will talk just a little bit about the timing, the relevancy, why Nikan, why now. But the biggest piece of this puzzle really is you. And a lot of people, they go all the way through their life and they reach their adult years, and they really have never been taught how to make a decision. And we're going to challenge you tonight to make a decision. If this is your first exposure at the business opportunity, we're going to challenge you to make the decision to get 100% informed, to really make sure that you have a full understanding of who we are and what we're doing. Now, if someone's been talking to you for a little while and maybe this is a second or third exposure for you, then we're going to ask you for a decision. We're going to ask you to join us. We're not bashful. We're in expansion mode, and we're looking for good people, and we're just going to challenge you. Make a decision, decide what's right for you, and then move forward